Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Darshaun McAway. You're tuned in to wowpodcast.me. That's WOWPODCAST.me. Today we have a special guest. We have Deanie Humphrys Dunne. She's going to be talking to us about her book, My Life at Sweetbrier, A Life Changed by Horses. Deanie, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and thank you very much for having me on your show today. I'm excited to be there and talk about my work.
No problem at all. So tell me, when did you get started writing children's books and why?
I started writing children's books in 2009. I was looking for something that I could do at home, and I'd already studied writing for children, but I just wasn't very confident about starting out with it. But then I had this really strong intuition that I should at least try it and see how it went. So that's why I started to do it, because I was following my intuition, and I really want to inspire children to be their best and do their best and learn all kinds of different things from my books.
So what is My Life at Sweetbrier about?
Well, Sweetbrier is the name of the farm where I grew up. My parents owned a horse farm, and when I was born, I have a handicap. I have cerebral palsy, and it affects my legs. So when I couldn't walk around at 4 years old, my parents got a little worried that something was wrong, so they took me to a specialist, and the doctor told my dad that I would never walk. And my dad was a very determined person, and he didn't like that at all. So he told the doctor what he could do with that opinion, and he told me not to worry, that he was going to teach me how to ride and I would be fine. So that was our goal. We worked together because my big dream was being able to ride in the big competitions like my sisters did. So that's what we started to do, and at first it took a long time. Like usually it takes people maybe a few months or a year before they can learn jumping, and I really wanted to learn jumping so I could go in the big competitions. And even my dad didn't want to teach me. He kind of wanted to wimp out, but I told him he couldn't do it because he always taught me that I could do anything I wanted if only certain things would take longer. So with that in mind, we started working hard, and it took 6 years before I could jump in a horse show, but eventually I got to be a champion equestrian like I wanted. And that was because my dad taught us never to give up. And we always kept working until we reached our goals.
That's a fantastic story. I was going to ask you, what was one of the big competitions that you got into?
We went in horse shows all around the Northeast. We went in shows at the Fairfield Hunt Club. We went to a big farm in New York called The Hill. We went to the Professional Horsemen's Association shows. We went to shows all around in the Northeast. And my dad actually found me a special horse for the shows, and her name was Peach, and people will learn about her. That was her nickname, Peach. Her real name was Fleet Nancy, and she was really good at jumping, and she loved it. All the other horses would get all tired out from jumping, and after a few classes, and she was just warming up by the time they were practically snoring around the course because she liked it so much. And she really did love it. And it showed because she always looked like she was having fun.
Right. So still on the topic of My Life at Sweetbrier, what do you want readers to remember about this book?
I want them to know that even if you have obstacles, you can overcome them. And if you keep trying and focus on your goals and your dreams, you can do a lot more than what you think you can. Even though people might tell you that you can't, because that's what they told me all the time. Nobody expected me to get where I wanted to be except for my parents, because they said that I could do whatever I wanted. Certain things would take longer, that's all.
Gotcha. So who illustrates your books?
My sister, Holly Humphries Bajaj, she illustrated most of the books, except one of them. She did the Sweetbrier book, she didn't illustrate because we used real photographs in it. And then my newest book, Wilbur's New Home, we had help. We had two illustrators for that one. She did some of the pictures, and Wanda Lewis Urabazo illustrated the others because Holly was just very busy and she didn't have time to work on all the pictures in that book. Because picture books have a lot of pictures in them, and Wilbur's New Home had a lot of pictures, so it's very time-consuming.
Yeah, so speaking of time-consuming, how long does it take her to illustrate?
It takes about a year, I think, between me writing the story and her doing the illustrations, because we talk about what kind of illustrations we want to have and what we want to happen in the story and what the pictures are going to look like. And she draws the pictures so that the children can really see the personalities of whoever she's drawing. Like in Wilbur's New Home, or a tractor named Wilbur. Those are picture books, and you can really tell what Wilbur's personality is when you look at the pictures. Because he's very cheerful, but he's kind of shy.
Are you self-published, or did you go through a traditional publisher?
I published some of the books, and then, but My Life at Sweetbrier is published by Monday Creek Publishers, and let's see, I think the other books are mostly self-published, if I remember right.
And how has the self-publishing journey been for you? Did you find it a bit of a challenge, or it's been pretty easy?
It's a little challenging. I think marketing is the hardest part, because I think it's easy to think that once you get your book finished, people are going to know about it, and then that's all you have to do. But you constantly have to find new ways to market and new people to learn about your books if you want to succeed.
So are you doing any social media marketing?
Yes, I do. I use Twitter and Facebook a little bit, and I have and the lady who is the publisher for My Life at Sweetbrier, she helps a lot with marketing ideas, and I also have another lady who helps me with marketing for some of the books. She gives me good ideas, but people can find my books on Amazon, on my website, and on two other platforms called Author Uproar and Book Marketing Global Network.
Okay. So as we get ready to bring the show to a close, what are some things that you really want people to know about you and your legacy?
I hope that I'm a good role model for children, because I want them to know that anything is possible if they keep working on their dreams. And each one of my books concentrates on a different thing. Like Charlene the Stark shows children that it's okay to have different talents than your friends. And Wilbur's New Home, and a tractor named Wilbur, it talks about friendship and about how to handle changes, because Wilbur's owner that he's had for a long time has to sell him, and Wilbur is very upset about that, and he has to adjust to changes. So the children will learn how to look at the positive side of changes.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and recap and tell everybody where they can go to purchase your books, or if you have any websites.
Yes, my website is www.childrensbookswithlifelessons.com, and people can find the books on Amazon. Most of them are on Barnes & Noble as well, and also the Author Uproar. If people just put in my name, you'll see my web page there, and also Book Marketing Global Network horseback.com. I have a web page there, and people can find out about all the different books. There are 8 of them.
Well, I'm your host, Darshaun McAway. We're talking to Deanie Humphrys Dunne, and we're talking to her about her book, My Life at Sweetbrier, A Life Changed by Horses. Deanie, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. And I had a nice time on talking to you as well, and I was very excited to be here. And thank you again for inviting me.
No problem at all.